From all of us at Safety Siping and Grooving, thank you for purchasing the STEM Siper. The important operating and maintenance instructions shown in this video program will ensure the new Siper operates dependably for many years. This video will provide the proper instruction for using and setting up your STEM. The content of this video has been organized into chapters, much like a book, allowing you to browse from topic to topic using the fast forward and rewind features on the VCR. The video timetable graphics and time markers are provided so you may quickly reference any topic of interest. Simply put the VCR in fast forward or rewind and watch the timetable to orient yourself to the current topic. When your topic of interest is displayed in yellow, or when you see it approaching in the blue areas, you may resume watching in real time. For safety reasons, we ask that you please view this tape in its entirety at least once before skipping through for quick reference. When receiving your STEM after shipment, take a moment to look it over. Although shipping damage is highly unusual, now is a good time to note the condition it has arrived in.
To unpack, pull the pin and swing the expandable hub assembly out of the way. Remember to position the blade away from you. Cut and remove the straps holding the hood down. Lift the hood. After you've completed unpacking your STM, please take a moment to review the package contents. The following items are shipped with your STM. The STM main unit, the expandable hub assembly, 13 to 16 inch expandable rim, passenger cone adapters, 13 inch cone, the tool kit, 8 ounces of silicone lubrication. Although most of what you'll need is supplied to you, there are a few items you'll need to properly set up your Siper. You'll need an air supply system that can supply 80 psi of air. You'll also need access to an electrical power source with at least a 30 amp rating. For your air connection, a male quick coupler will be needed, and make sure to have some Teflon tape to help seal the connection airtight. Automatic transmission fluid for use in the oiler. Finally, you'll need some chalk to make small marks on the tires you're going to sipe. To cool the cutting blade and lubricate the tire, mix 8 ounces of silicone lubricant to a gallon of water. This will extend the blade life and give a more precise sipe. Extend the power cord out the back of the cabinet to prevent it from being damaged by the stops on the hood. Position the cord away from walkways. A nylon tie-down may help to keep excess cord from becoming a tripping hazard. If you need to use an extension cord, it needs to be a heavy-duty extension cord. Use a heavy-duty 30 amp power strip to plug it into. Do not plug the Siper in until you are ready to sipe. Install a male quick coupler that matches your air hose. Use Teflon tape to prevent air leakage. Use correct size wrenches if available to grip fittings properly when tightening. The water separator has a view glass. Check this often and drain from the bottom when present. To become more familiar with the STM Siper, let's take a brief look at the components you'll be working with. From the front of the unit working toward the rear, the correct names and locations are as follows: expandable hub, retaining pin, air hose, expandable rim assembly, lock pins, cabinet, front legs, roller bearings, tightening nut, spacer, wheel mount adapters, clear air lines, lubrication jug, motor, drive shaft couplers, drive shaft arbor, blade guide, blade, lead screw, spray mist unit, locking collars, guide bars, Acme threaded rods, plastic nuts, blade tracking crank, hood lever, lever lock, hood, blade guard, knurled knob, control switch handle, expandable hub control valve, tire pressure control valve, spray mist unit control valve, main power switch, angle adjusting crank, air regulators, pressure gauges, water separator, oiler. Remember to always wear eye protection when working with your siper. Set the air regulator at 80 psi. The oiler supplies a small amount of oil through the valves and expandable hub. We suggest that you use automatic transmission fluid instead of mineral oil so you can see the pink in the clear air lines. After siping 15 to 20 times, you should see pink in the lines. If not, turn the oiler up. If you see puddling below the lines, turn it down. It is marked with a plus and a minus symbol.
The toolkit that comes with your STEM contains a variety of tools that you'll use throughout the daily operation and maintenance of your siper. Let's take a look at each of these tools now.
There is an Allen wrench to fit every set screw on the machine. The sizes provided are 1/4, 3/16, 5/32, 1/8, 3/32. Set screw are on the drive shaft couplers and the drive shaft arbor. Plastic nuts on the Acme threaded rods and the locking collars on the Acme threaded rods. The locking collars should be adjusted out to the side panel so that there is no sideways play of the Acme threaded rod. The lead screws are changed to set the depth you are siping into the tire. Measure the tire tread and use a lead screw with a minimum of 4/32 of an inch less than the low spot on the tire. 5/32 and 7/32 for used tires. 9/32 for most new passenger tires. 11/32 and 13/32 for truck and motorhome tires. The siper has 2 blade guides supplied with it. 250 thousandths for passenger tires and 351 thousandths for truck and motorhome tires. Guides of 301 thousandths and 401 thousandths are available as an option. 1 dozen spare blades come with the siper. A file is provided to keep your blade sharp. Leveling screws to mount on the front legs of the siper to adjust any rocking of the siper are also included. The spanner wrench is used to loosen the lead screws for changing the blade guide or the lead screws themselves. To see how this is done, watch the siping section of this video entitled Blade Guide and Lead Screw Changing.
The STEM siper has been designed to sipe both non-mounted and wheel-mounted tires. As you might expect, there are clear applications for both methods. Typically, brand new tires are unmounted. You'll find that this will be the predominant way you'll sipe tires. For situations such as this, the mounting process will be tailored for the expandable hub. The second method is reserved for wheel-mounted tires. For this situation, you'll swing the expandable hub aside and use the wheel-mount adapters that come with your siper.
To reduce the risk of injury, seek lifting assistance from a coworker when lifting larger tires on the expanding rim. Pull the retaining pin to swing the expandable hub and rim assembly out. Remember to always use proper lifting techniques. Set the tire on the expandable rim. Make a small mark on the tire to use as a reference point. Swing it back in and insert pin. Pull the control knobs for the inflatable hub and tire inflation. For passenger and light truck tires, set the expandable hub pressure around 55 to 60 psi. Tire inflation for passenger and light truck tires, set at 30 psi. For truck and motorhome tires, set the expandable hub pressure around 75 to 80 psi. Tire inflation for big truck tires, 40 psi. Pay close attention to the order in which this procedure is performed. Release the tire pressure first by pushing in the tire pressure control valve. Release the expandable hub pressure second by pressing in the expandable hub control valve. Pull the retaining pin holding the expandable hub assembly in place. Always keep hands clear of the expandable hub while releasing the air pressure to avoid a possible pinch point. Slowly swing out the expandable hub assembly. Using two hands and proper lifting techniques, remove the tire. To sipe mounted tires, swing the expandable hub and rim assembly out of the way. Insert the axle and large cone on the back of the wheel. Install the small tapered cone on the front of the wheel. Install a spacer and axle nut. The handle on the tightening nut must face inward. Lifting assistance is important when lifting the mounted assembly. Set axle into the roller bearings in the cabinet. Rotate tire to be sure nothing catches or is loose. Mark the tire for a reference point and sipe the tire. Let's move on to siping. Although you'll find siping to be relatively easy, it's important that we go through some pre-siping checkpoints. It's very important to disconnect the power supply to your siper when sharpening the blade. When available, use gloves during this stage to reduce possible finger or hand lacerations if hand slips. With the file in one hand, hold the coupler of the drive shaft with the other hand and file the leading edge of the blade from the bottom. Take the burr off of the top. Round the tip of the blade so it will follow the existing sipe on each revolution of the tire. Sharpen blade every second tire for new tires and every tire for used tires. The blade can be sharpened until there is a half-inch space between the leading and trailing edge of the blade. When working with the file and blade, always take care to prevent any injury. Insert the forward peg of the spanner wrench into the hole at the top of the lead screw. Hold the coupler on the drive shaft. Turn the spanner wrench. Remove the lead screw. Remove the top half of the blade guide. Remove the blade. Remove the bottom half of the blade guide. Clean parts and reverse procedure to install. Use anti-seize on the drive shaft and parts when installing.